Is it recording? Okay. Hello everyone, welcome to your May 2025 astrological forecast. So the month starts off with the sun still in Taurus up until the 20th, and on the 4th we have a planet going retrograde, which is Pluto. Okay, everything else is in direct motion. On the 10th, Mercury moves into Taurus. On the 12th, there's a full moon in Scorpio. On the 20th, the Sun moves into Gemini. On the 24th, Saturn moves into Aries. And I do have to say, you know, Neptune moved into Aries last month. I'm sorry. There, I had to use my computer, okay, to record. My camera is really screwing up, so please bear with me. You'll see on some of the other videos, they're like totally out of focus, so please just ignore that. Anyway, Neptune just moved into Aries, and Saturn also moves into Aries on the 24th, giving Pisces a little break, okay, over the summer at least. Both of these planets will move back into Pisces to finish up their transit there. And then next year, they'll fully move into Aries. But for this summer, for like a few months, both of these planets are going to be in Aries. So, you know, Pisces gets a break, and even Virgo, as far as that goes, the opposite sign of Pisces. So on the 25th, Mercury is in Gemini, and on the 26th, there's a new moon in Gemini, and all month, Venus is in Aries, and Mars is in Leo. Okay? So, thank you so much. Special shout out to my subscribers for your continued support, for your likes and shares and comments, and if you're new to my channel and you like this video, be sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell. You'll be notified each time I upload something. You can also check out the links in the description box below. There is one to my website, but it is easier to just email me at Zane's Zodiac .com. I'm sorry, Zane Zodiac at gmail.com. Okay. And just ask me whatever it is you would like to know, whatever service, you know, do I offer this service or that service or whatever. And there's also a thing called Ask Me a Question, which is for those of you who only want to know maybe one or two things about your chart. And also, don't forget to check out my weekly forecast, which is now daily shorts. And now for your forecast. Hi, Capricorn. Hey, I have to tell you first that I had to switch to my computer, and that's what I'm recording on right now. And my camera was like screwed up. If you watch some of my other videos that I'm going to upload, they're like out of focus, pretty bad. So I'm on this, my computer, but I had to have lights that are so close to my computer, they're like causing me to squint. So just please ignore me if I do that, but I have lights like shining in my eyes. Okay, so anyway, the sun is in Taurus up until the 20th in your 5th house. That's where you have the sign of Taurus, the 5th house being the house of fun, creativity, gambling and speculation, any kind of sport, game, or form of entertainment, and anything to do with children. Okay, the planet Uranus is still here, and Mercury moves here on the 10th and is moving very fast because it moves into Gemini on the 25th. So very quickly, between the 10th and the 25th, you might find out that you've done an awful lot of having fun, or running around, or maybe a couple trips to the casino, or doing things with your child if you have children, or someone else's child even. But you may have like gone to, you know, a show or two, a play, or go to see a live band, or something or other, you know. But with the sun here, it's your time to have fun. you know, and with the planet Uranus here, you know, usually that's pretty unexpected. You know, you're not really sure what you're going to do. You know, there's sudden events. Okay, that's what Uranus brings. And when it's in your 5th house, you just like never know what's going to happen as far as fun goes. You could start out with plans to do one thing and end up doing something completely different, but they're still fun. You know, it's like a little adventure along the way. Okay, so with Mercury here, you know, you might be in touch with someone. It could possibly be an old flame. Okay, but it could even just be someone from your past. Okay, and I do have to mention that because Neptune moved into Aries last month. Okay, and Saturn is moving into Aries on the 24th, and Venus is in Aries all month. And where you have Aries in your chart is your 4th house. Okay, and Mercury's actually still here up until the 10th. Your 4th house of your home and family, where you physically live and the property surrounding it, your private life, your past, your childhood, the foundation of how you were raised. Okay, so these planets have just moved here. You might not even notice anything, you know, for they're just going to be here for a few months, then they will move back into Pisces to finish out their transit there. Then they will fully move into Aries like next year. Okay, so for now though, you know, when Neptune is here, I will be doing a video on these planets in Aries. Okay, but for now, I'll just tell you, Neptune rules illusion. Okay, sometimes deception. So you may have a family member, you know, that maybe that's been going on for a while, or maybe it's just starting. Maybe someone you live with, you know, they're acting a little bit off, you know, maybe a bit secretive, maybe they're hiding something, or people that reappear from your past, you know, you may be questioning it, like why all of a sudden after all these years, and what do they want? You know, they seem like it's so important to see me, you know, why are they so, I went to high school with these people, we've been out of high school for how many years, something like that, you know, it's like kind of fishy. You're wondering why is it so important for this person to see me, or why do they want to get together so badly, whatever. Anyways, I just thought I'd mention that. But you know what, Saturn is still in Pisces up until the 24th in your 3rd house, okay, of your everyday life, the people and places you would encounter throughout the normal course of your day, all forms of communication, including regular postal mail and local travel, like a day trip, overnight trip, or a weekend trip even, or a road trip. Okay, so but the thing is if you've had like a lot of construction in your area, or if you had a business in your area that was really degrading the whole neighborhood, you know, just bringing down the value of people's properties, you know, it was crappy business, it was a nuisance, may even be a nuisance bar or something like that, that'll like be going away, you know, at least briefly over the summer, but for good starting next year. Okay, so you won't have to worry about this too much. I do have to mention, though, Pluto in Aquarius turns retrograde on the 4th in your 2nd house. That's where you have the sign of Aquarius, 2nd house being earned income and possessions. Okay, so many other things. You're very familiar with Pluto. It just left your sign. You know, now that it's in your 2nd house, it's changing the way you earn a living, you know, eventually somewhere down the line. But I do have to mention, though, too, that the 2nd house is also the house of hidden talents. And a lot of times when a planet, like a major planet like this, especially transits here for a long time, it brings these hidden talents to the surface, but a lot of times it is something that you knew how to do. You may have had like a hobby or something that you used to do years ago, maybe even in high school or something, and you were really good at it, and it could be something that not everyone knows how to do or can do it well, okay, as well as you. So you may be able to develop a side venture here as far as earning a living or earning money on the side, doing whatever this is, okay? And I have to say that because Aquarius is an air sign, and Gemini is an air sign, and you have Gemini on the 6th house of the workplace and the kind of work that you do. You know, your co-workers, your work schedule, also the house of health and the house of service to others, okay? So there could be an opportunity coming along with Pluto being retrograde that maybe you missed the first time around. Maybe you weren't even aware of it. You may be given another opportunity, okay? When planets, especially the Sun, moves into Gemini on the 20th, the Sun moves into Gemini. Mercury moves here on the 25th. There's a new moon in Gemini on the 26th, and Jupiter is still in Gemini, okay? Now, it will move in June into Cancer, your opposite sign, so it's going to be directly across from whatever planet you have in Capricorn, which is good. It's actually good. It's an opposition. There are no bad transits to or from Jupiter. Okay, that's my belief anyway. Anyway, so, you know, with this new moon brings a new beginning in Gemini in your 6th house of work. Okay, so maybe that's what's happening now, is you are creating everything this month, or getting everything together in order to like launch your own business, or you know, Capricorns are the born executives of the Zodiac. They usually do not work for other people, or if they do, they're like the CEO. They're the boss, you know what I mean? An authority figure of some kind. So it could be something, you know, where whatever, maybe you are already self-employed, right? And you are just creating a new side venture, okay? Because Jupiter in your 6th house should have brought like more opportunities, maybe not necessarily changing jobs or changing careers, but for more work or expansion in some way or other, okay? So, I do have to mention, a full moon. Okay, there's a full moon in Scorpio on the 12th in your 11th house. That's where you have the sign of Scorpio, 11th house being your most sociable house. It's your friends and acquaintances, where you would normally go to hang out. It's socializing in person or online, any group or organization that you belong to, and also the house of dreams, hopes, and wishes. So, you know, the 11th house is directly across from the 5th house, where you have the sign of Taurus, the 5th house being the house of fun. So you may, you know, something could happen, maybe even within your group of friends. Maybe you're out somewhere and something may happen that is something maybe that happens all the time, because that's what a full moon is for, is to get rid of a problem that's become an issue, and then you don't have to deal with it anymore. So you may have a friend that does something that annoys you or whatever, especially when you're out. Or you may be socializing on social media, and you may have somebody that just gets on your nerves, or even, you know, just tries to pick some kind of fight or whatever with you. You know, weird people on social media. That's like sometimes like what they like to do. That's just their thing, okay? Or it could be just somebody saying something about a creative project that you have, or a child, you know, maybe your child or someone else's, or could even be, they could even have something like nasty to say about whoever it is you're dating, whatever, you know, just somebody that has no right in saying or doing anything. So you'll just take care of it. You'll let them know that it's not a good idea to stick their nose actually where it doesn't belong. Okay, the best time to do something each month is when the moon is in your own sign, and the moon is in Capricorn on the 15th, 16th, and 17th. The best time to lay low is when the moon is in your opposite sign, and your opposite sign is Cancer, and those dates are the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 28th, 29th, and 30th. The best time for romance, recreation, creativity, fun, gambling, and speculation, and anything to do with children is the 10th, 11th, 12th, 24th, 25th, and 26th. The best time for money is the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 18th, 19th, and 20th. The best time for your career is the 8th, 9th, and 10th. And the best time for communication and travel is the 5th, 6th, 7th, 20th, 21st, and 22nd. So I hope you enjoyed your forecast for May. Be sure to check out my weekly forecasts, which are now daily shorts. See ya!